I am the master of disguise. Run in the merry-go. Okay, full disclosure, I was up very early today for an artist, and it was a very intense improv workshop that I took this afternoon. I am just emotionally zapped. So thank goodness this was a more mild episode. Welcome, dear doodlebugs and friends, to Game of Vlogs, where we talk about the most recent Game of Thrones episode, Season 6, Episode 7. So, you've been warned. Here be spoilers. Floating hands in a void with a head. Okay, make things easier for you. Well, hopefully that's given you plenty of time to click away if you're not caught up with Game of Thrones, or if you don't want anything to be spoiled. Surely there's some kind of link on the screen you can click, or in the description below to watch a totally different video, or you can just mash all the keys and see what happens. Go on, give it a shot, because we are about to spoil this in 3, 2, 1. Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 7. The Broken Man, because what is dead may not actually be dead if you did not witness it dying. We learned this in the X-Files long ago. Jon and Sansa go door to door, annoying their neighbors. Olenna Tyrell may be one tough cookie, but if there's any dessert that the High Sparrow enjoys, it would be a tough, dry old cookie. And I'm going to give Yara Greyjoy the Motivational Speaker of the Year award. Jaime Lannister is sent to take care of some squatters who are squatting in their own castle, and we are all happy to know now that there were no orcas harmed in this episode, or Blackfish. There's a Blackfish joke in there. And Arya, well, it's only a flesh wound. So, this episode begins with some happy peasants building a church and some oddly pleasant, somewhat inspiring music that you don't really hear often on the show. So that means they don't have long in this world. Here's a cool thing, and I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm very sure this was intentional. That priestly character who gets hung at the very end, when we first see him in this episode, he is standing in the half-built church right underneath the very ropes that he gets hung from. And in fact, the other peasants in the background are hoisting something up with those ropes as he turns around, which is kind of a really awesome bit of foreshadowing. And yes, I did go back and watch the episode because I was watching it very late last night and I was very tired. My favorite part of the episode was when Dante was falling asleep during it. So it is finally revealed that Sandor Clegane, the Hound, is not dead. He's not dead yet, which is awesome because he's a really great character and a really great actor. And as much as I loved the dynamic of him and Arya traveling together, unfortunately, I don't feel like we're ever going to see them in those roles again. If he's ever going to see her again, he's going to be mad. Meanwhile, in King's Landing, the High Sparrow, I don't know. I'm honestly genuinely scared for Lady Olenna, which I love her. She's amazing. Even if she does get out of King's Landing, though, does that guarantee she's safe? The road can be dangerous, and there are many religious radicals in the country of Westeros, not just in King's Landing. So, is she safe anywhere? How far is the High Sparrow's reach? Or shall I say, wingspan? Let's talk about the Blackfish versus Jaime Lannister. I'm so torn. I don't know who I'm cheering for. And in the little teaser thing at the end of the episode, it's implying that Brienne of Tarth is gonna get involved in this conflict. Jaime's come a long way in this show, and I sympathize very much with him. We don't really know too much about the Blackfish, but I'm cheering for his side. He's a badass. He's very Clint Eastwood, the Blackfish, very gritty. He knows his nephew is as good as dead. No matter what he does, if he surrenders, there's no guarantee. No matter what anybody says, there's no guarantee that they're gonna get out alive and unharmed. So, kill him now, kill him later. My nephew's dead. This house party's over, but I'm still hanging out here drinking your beer. I ain't going anywhere until you order me a cab to Valhalla. Oh yeah, I'm that kind of guest at a party. The only redeeming thing about that whole situation is seeing Jaime smack around some phrase. Anyway, let's talk about something pleasant. Yara and Theon are the cutest brother and sister. Theon's character has, like Jaime, gone all over the place. I'm really feeling for him now, and I'm excited to see how he rebuilds himself, if at all. I mean, he's been humiliated so hard. But I believe in you, Theon. You can do it or kill yourself. Tough love there. Speaking of brother, sister, adorable dynamics, there's a far less interesting couple. Jon and Sansa are pitching this idea around the north. All right, not a lot of the northern households share their vision, but yeah, not the most thrilling part of the series, although we do get this amazing scene where they're going to Bear Island and they meet Lady Mormont, who's the new lady of that household. She's my new favorite character, this little girl who's just the hand. That's amazing. And now, is she the little niece of Ser Jorah, King of the Friend Zone? How is that? I'm gonna go on the internet and figure out that relationship. She's like the coolest, and she's like so much younger than me and so much cooler. She's got it way more together than I do. 12 Westeros household leaders under 12. Aha, the top underage leaders that you serve under. And finally, Arya is on her way home when suddenly and quite expectedly, she's shanked in the streets of Braavos. Never trust an old crone. If somebody's approaching you on the streets to talk to you, you throw acid in their face. Everybody knows that. That's why I keep it in my little pocket. Pocket acid. Oh yeah, I got some spare change. As in, changed your face. Acid. Why is everybody staring at me? There is some kind of karmic justice happening in this episode. We have the Hound back, alive and well and healthy, but when we last saw him, he was wounded and Arya abandons him in the wilderness and leaves him to die. Whereas now, at the end of this episode, Arya is the one left wounded and no one is coming to her aid. Karma's a female direwolf and it's gonna come around to get you, even if you're one of the most loved characters. There's also another very interesting parallel, and this could just be like tinfoil hat Mary, but so when Arya gets shanked, she rolls into the river and is thought to be dead, right? Or we at least feel like the Waif thinks she's dead. There's another character in the book who followed this pattern who turned out to not be dead. And if you've read the books, you know who I'm talking about. Tossed in the river, turns out to be alive. It's pretty obvious that the ones who murdered those happy little peasants are the brothers without banners. And book readers do know that there's a certain person who ends up in cahoots with them. Talking about Lady Stoneheart. Oh yeah, this season has been full of forgotten characters popping back up. And I think we've got at least one more coming. And on that note, just a public safety announcement. Next time strangers come riding up to your camp or your home, don't tell them you're totally unarmed. Tell them that you're armed to the teeth. Tell them you have security cameras. Don't tell them I'm going out of town for a month and, I leave a key behind the back door so that my cousin can come in and feed the plants. Aren't we good people? Aren't we happy little peasants? Nothing bad ever happens to peasants. Peasant is slang for you're gonna die. So I'm gonna wrap up this episode because this wine is giving me severe wine teeth and I'm so tired. Most hated character of the episode, the High Sparrow. Need I say more? I just want you to burn. It's fascinating because I love Jonathan Pryce. I adore him. Go watch Brazil. I kind of had a weird crush on him. Most loved character of the episode, Lyanna Mormont, stole the show for me in this episode. She's just, gosh, that girl. I'm intimidated. If I meet that actress in real life, I'm going to throw up. And I would say that would be my favorite scene of the episode, where Jon and Sansa are visiting Bear Island and petitioning Lady Mormont for more men. Some notes after last week's video. The Waif. Thank you, everybody. I forgot the name of the unnamed girl who's been training Arya and beating on her and eventually shanked her in this episode. She's called the Waif. Not a real name, of course. Obviously, I hope not. A little pretentious to name your kid the anything. Danu points out that Theon's uncle, Euron, which kind of sounds like urine if you say it right, has in the books a horn that controls the dragons. That's a thing. In the TV series, he's more like, I'm just really awesome and she's gonna love me. But yeah, in the books, he's got a little more of an edge. So, the death pool. Let's talk about the death pool, because no one died, except for some Monty Python extras. Some people died, but no one guessed the death pool this week. And I did not get a comment from last week's winner, so again, no drawing this week. So we reset and begin next week's death pool, episode 8. Name one character that you think is going to die in the next episode. It's got to either be a name or a very accurate description, like state a particular person. And if you guess correctly, I will pick one winner to leave a comment and request a drawing that I will make to feature in the following video. And please, like, if you're playing, like, come check back and respond with the suggestion or the request on the following video, or the video where I announce the winner, if that makes any sense. I'm not making any sense tonight. It's just so late. I'm burning the candle at both ends. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. And until next time, dear doodlebugs, you stay away from the pointy end of the stick. .com/ There's a fruit fly in here. Gonna go to bed.